A new book looks at predictions, why they go wrong, how to spot phony ones, and how to stand a better chance of getting your own predictions right. It's called How to Expect the Unexpected, the Science of Making Predictions and the Art of Knowing When Not to. And it was written by mathematician Kit Yates. And he joins us this morning. Good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Good to have you with us. People are really bad at figuring out probability, which probably explains why so many people play the lottery. Why is that?
I think we are just not used to dealing with randomness very well. We're not very good at being random, and we're not very good at spotting randomness. And this can confound us all over the place, like you say, in places like the lottery, but also things like when coincidences can happen. We think coincidences are perhaps really, really unlikely, but there's something called the law of truly large numbers, which suggests that if there are enough opportunities, even extremely unlikely things can happen. So, for example, it's very unlikely that you will win the lottery buying one ticket, but if enough people play the lottery, someone wins most week. And sometimes when we see coincidences, we jump to conclusions which aren't necessarily warranted.
Yeah, so what about this idea, you say there are a lot more coincidences than people think. So people that try and say, oh, well, this happened and there's this rule of threes, and they're trying to tie things together. Do people just naturally want to do that, make sense out of something they can't make sense out of?
Yeah, exactly. And we saw this a lot during the pandemic, people grasping for reasons behind what was going on when there wasn't necessarily reason behind it. I don't want to ruin people's fun. I think coincidences are amazing. I love hearing people's stories of coincidences. But what I want to say is that maybe there isn't it's not a sign from above. But what the really magical thing is that you actually spotted that coincidence. We get all sorts of stories like, people sitting opposite sides of a cafe to their neighbor all the way around the world or something like that. And they didn't know each other were traveling on this trip. But the magical thing is that they saw each other and they weren't facing the wrong way to see each other, because all sorts of things like that happen all the time, and sometimes we just don't spot them. So the magic of coincidences is that we actually spot them, but there's nothing to suggest this is some sort of external sign.
Yeah, and I think with social media, people start seeing other people's opinions, and you get into this group thing type of thing, not to mention the bad information that's on the internet. So what can we do to protect ourselves for falling for bad predictions or try to become better at predicting things for ourselves?
Yeah, so I think we need to just be aware of some of the ways that we might get manipulated by people. So the first chapter of the book, I wanted to figure out how people in the past, like soothsayers or oracles or seers, were able to seemingly predict the future without actually having access to our sort of scientific methods that we have today that we use to predict the future, maths, modern day maths and science. And so what I did was to go and visit a psychic and to get her to give me a reading and to try and pick apart the tools that she uses, things like Barnum statements. So when someone says to you, I think you're a really intuitive person, and you think, oh, that really does apply to me. But of course, most people think that sort of thing applies to them. They say this thing called the Rainbow Ruse, where they say sometimes you're really extroverted and sometimes you're quite introverted. They give like two sides of the same character trait. Of course, you identify with them. So these sorts of things are things to look out for.
Huh. So is there any situation where you think someone can actually predict the future, or you just think it's all a bunch of hogwash?
No, for sure. Like nowadays, we have great scientific techniques. For example, I saw the weather forecast that you put up before, and it suggested there was a 40% probability of snow in a couple of days' time. And we are really, really good or getting much better at making predictions about the weather, about predicting the trajectories of disease epidemics, of finding where hurricanes are going to make landfall, for example. But we really do need to use the scientific tools and techniques that are available to us rather than just sticking our finger in the air to try and find out which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah. So the key is math, which spells trouble for many of us. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is a problem, but there are some sort of relatively simple rules that we can take from mathematical formula to help us in the world. So there's a very famous, in math circles at least, formula called Bayes' theorem, and it tells us how we should deal with new evidence. And it has three basic lessons. One of them is that new evidence isn't everything. You shouldn't completely throw away your prior beliefs. One of them is that you should change your opinion incrementally. So when new evidence comes in, you should update your opinion instead of just ignoring it if it conflicts with your current opinion. And the last one is never hold any conviction with 100% certainty. Embrace uncertainty. Because if you hold any opinion or idea with 100% certainty, then there's no space for new evidence to ever change your mind. So there's 3 really simple lessons that come from a mathematical.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right. Well, for more, you can follow Kit Yates on X and check out kityates.com. And the name of the book is How to Expect the Unexpected. Thank you.
Thanks, Kit.
Thanks so much. Cheers.